ठीक है. Hello everyone, my name is Divya. You remember we were there in the last video lecture where I have explained you about the essay type called agree or disagree. So today I am here with a new lecture where we are going to talk about to what extent do you agree or disagree with this essay. So now there is a bit difference. Let me tell you the topic that we are going to cover in this lecture. The very first thing that we will understand what is the essay structure, right? That how it is different from only agree or disagree when I am writing, and what is the difference between to what extent do I agree or disagree, right? So we'll be learning that essay structure, right? We will also learn that how to plan, one of the very important part whenever you are writing your essay. We will talk about how to develop, introduction, how to develop body paragraphs, and of course how to write an effective conclusion, right? We'll be learning everything today in this video lecture. Now just to tell you here that timing, just to develop your entire essay, you will have only 40 minutes, right? Within 40 minutes you are supposed to finish your writing, and in these 40 minutes you are not only supposed to write, but make sure that you are planning your essay, you are writing your essay, and then before submitting you are revising your essay, right? So you have to manage your 40 minutes to do these three different tasks. Okay, now here length, you know that you are supposed to write down only 250 words or more. Make sure it should not be less than 250. You can write down 250 or more than that, but it should not be less than that. Okay, so if I talk about the marking criteria, even in the previous video we did discuss the marking criteria in detail, but let me just give you a brief and let's revise this, right? The very first is your task response. It's absolutely about how appropriately, how accurately, and how relevantly you are writing, right? Whatever being asked, are you answering the same question, or you are just beating around the bush, or you are adding something which is not necessary, right? So make sure whatever you are writing, जो भी आपको टॉपिक दिया आप उसको कितना अच्छे से रिस्पॉन्स करते हो, कितना कंप्लीटली रिस्पॉन्स करते हो, will be observed in the task response. Second is called your cohesion and coherence. Now the cohesion and coherence is what? Is all about the well structured essay, how you are connecting your body paragraphs, how you are connecting your introduction to the body 1 to the body 2, and of course your conclusion. What type of linking words you are using, how good you are with your paragraphing, how good you are with your sequence of the information, and the most important thing that whatever the ideas you are writing, how good you are to develop these ideas in a particular way or in a logical flow, I would say that. Third is your lexical resources. Again, the part of vocabulary plays a very important role. Let me just get aside so that you guys can see that. Lexical resources is one of the part where you need to show the productivity, the creativity of yours when you are using the English language. So lexical resources mein kya hota hai that you have to write down the vocabulary. So again, this is what I have repeated in the last lecture also, that you are not supposed to write like a professor of any college, right? You are not supposed to write down, write in your essay like a, examiner, IELTS examiner, right? They want you to write down like a student only, but few things that they want you to keep in mind. The very first, do not do the repetition and use the right word at a right place, right? This is what they are asking for. If you are writing the basic vocabulary, but yes, you have variety of words, you are absolutely okay. Then last but not the least is your grammatical range and accuracy. Of course, the grammatical range and accuracy is just to see that how you are using the range of grammatical, the grammar forms correctly. For example, your tenses, right? You are writing, how you are using your tenses, what different type of sentence structures you are using in your writing will be observed, and basis of all these 4 criteria you will be given marks. So make sure when you are writing, right, as I've told you that in these 40 minutes not only you are supposed to plan, write and revise, right? You have to evaluate your writing. Just read your essay and see how effectively you have written, how good you are when you are achieving the task, how good you are when you are writing the vocabulary, how good you are when you are writing the grammar, how good you are when you are connecting all these ideas together. So make sure that you are doing this before submitting your essay. नाउ अंडरस्टैंड द प्रॉम्प्ट्स. हम आप प्रॉम्प्ट समझते हैं कि क्या डिफरेंस होता है, लेकिन सी द प्रॉम्प्ट्स यूजुअली सेम ही होते हैं, बट कई बार ऐसा होता है आपके पास एक ऐसा टॉपिक आ जाता है जहां पर आप चाहकर भी वन साइडेड नहीं लिख सकते हो, राइट? ऐसा नहीं है कि वहां पे टॉपिक ही अलग होंगे कि वो आपसे बोलेंगे या आप दोनों साइड लिखो, नहीं, टॉपिक सेम ही होता है. बट is this you, I mean this is you, right, who wants to write down कि okay I will write agree also and I disagree. Okay, this is one of the question. जैसे अगर मैं आपको एक एग्जांपल दूं, पिछले वीडियो में मैंने एग्जांपल दिया था, एजुकेशन इज वन ऑफ द इम्पॉर्टेंट element to develop a nation. So I said education is one of the important elements. और भी है लेकिन एजुकेशन उनमें से एक है. डू यू अग्री और डिसएग्री? आपने बोला ठीक है आई अग्री. लेकिन अगर आज मैं बोलूं कि एजुकेशन इज ओनली द एलिमेंट दैट कैन डेवलप अ नेशन, कि एजुकेशन के अलावा कुछ और है ही नहीं जो एजुकेशन जो डेवलप कर सके हमारे नेशन को, तो ऑफ कोर्स you partially agree or disagree with that. You believe that education is a very important part, but apart from the education there are other sectors too, those who are contributing to developing a nation. So sometimes you will get a topic जहां पर आप दोनों point of view लिखना चाहते हो, and for that we are here. Let me tell you, see the topics first कैसे होते हैं. जैसे लिखा, some people claim that too much focus and resources have been spent to protect wild animals and birds. Do you agree or disagree with that? कि लोगों को लगता है कि भाई हम ज्यादा से ज्यादा रिसोर्स और पैसा खर्च कर रहे हैं प्रोटेक्ट करने में, किसको? एनिमल्स को और बर्ड्स को. आप इस बात से अग्री करते हो और डिसएग्री करते हो? वेल, यू कैन राइट ऑन वन साइडेड ऑल्सो एज आई हैव टॉट यू अर्लियर, बट आप बोलो कि मैं अग्री भी हूँ डिसएग्री भी हूँ. कहीं ना कहीं हमें पैसा खर्च करना चाहिए. आई मीन दे आर द पार्ट ऑफ आवर इकोसिस्टम, तो वी हैव टू सेव देम, सो वी शुड स्पेंड रिसोर्सेज एंड मनी. बट एट द अदर साइड आई ऑल्सो फील कि ऐसा नहीं है कि सारा ही पैसा हम वहां लगा रहे हैं. राइट, वी शुड हैव a particular value or the particular amount to spend here or to other sector or maybe or to on a different place. So that's what you need to keep in mind. Another, see, law changes human behavior, right? What is your opinion? So when I say law changes human behavior, what is your opinion? So some of you may think yes, law changes human behavior. Some of you will say no, law does not change human behavior. And some of you will say yes, it depends. Sometime if the person is following rules and regulation and he is he wants to do his best, it can change the behavior. Or at the other hand, we have people though who do not care about the law and they are not following the laws. So I mean there is no change in their behavior. So it depends, right? So these are the topics जहाँ पे कहीं ना कुछ comparison होता है and you somewhere feel like कि ऐसा है भी और ऐसा नहीं भी है. So here you can use this particular structure. To what extent do you agree or disagree, where you are going to write on both the things. Next देखते हैं. जैसे इसमें next क्या है, big salary is much more important than job satisfaction. राइट, कि वो बोल रहे बिग सैलरी, ज्यादा सैलरी इंपॉर्टेंट करती है जॉब सेटिस्फेक्शन से. सो समवेयर आई कैन नॉट डिनाई दैट जॉब सेटिस्फेक्शन इज नॉट इंपॉर्टेंट. सैलरी इज इंपॉर्टेंट, बट येस एट द सेम टाइम जॉब सेटिस्फेक्शन इज ऑल्सो इंपॉर्टेंट. सो हियर डू यू अग्री और डिसअग्री विद द स्टेटमेंट? Last it says doing an enjoyable activity with a child is better for their overall skill development and creativity than reading. Right, वो बोल रहे हैं कि आपको अपने बच्चे के साथ it is better for their overall skill. What is enjoyable times? Like, so parents should spend in some time, and in that time they should do some enjoyable activity, something their kids like to do. So it's better to do that than reading or like studying, right? So comparison is there कि वो बोल रहे हैं कि आप पढ़ने की जगह बच्चों के साथ अच्छे से टाइम स्पेंड करो, उनकी फेवरेट गेम्स खेलो, उससे ज्यादा बच्चे की डेवलपमेंट होती है. डू यू अग्री और डिसएग्री विद दैट? तो अगेन राइट, you will have opinion, okay, I agree also, I disagree also at a certain point. So here the typical wording जो होती है आपकी ऐसे की, जो opinion essays आपके होते हैं, you will have these three type of wording. First it will ask you what is your opinion, do you agree or disagree, or to what extent do you agree or disagree. So do not get confused, all these three topics are related, or the endings are related to the opinion essay only. It's up to you that you will have a chance to write down one-sided essay. Now after this session you will have also a chance to write down the essay where you are going to write down your partial agreement, that you agree also and somewhere you disagree also. Now see, let us understand by this picture. It's called spectrum of agreement. See, let's suppose if you completely agree, तो आपका 100% जो ऐसे होगा वो सिर्फ अग्रीमेंट पे होगा, जैसे हमने लास्ट वीडियो में किया था. वो ऐसे डिसएग्रीमेंट पे था, तो हमने क्या किया था, पूरा का पूरा ऐसे में हमने शो किया था कि व्हाई डू आई डिसएग्री विद दैट पर्टिकुलर स्टेटमेंट. ऑपोजिट भी हो सकता है, मैं अग्री थी तो व्हाई डू आई व्हाई आई वाज अग्री विद द टॉपिक, तो आप पूरा ऐसे डिसएग्रीमेंट और अग्रीमेंट के फेवर में लिखोगे. नाउ I slightly agree, slightly disagree, moderately agree, or moderately disagree. So this is particular structure where you can learn. So let's suppose अगर आप बोलते हो कि मैं agree करती हूँ, right? Or I slightly agree or disagree. So one paragraph you can write down in favor of agreement, and the other paragraph you can write down in favor of disagreement, right? So this you can write down like this. So depend. Let's suppose you feel ki yes, I believe that, sometimes you feel like there are points, or you have more, points on agreement. You have points on disagreement, but comparatively less. So you can give 80% of your body paragraph in the favor of agreement and 20% in the favor of disagreement. It depends. You can balance this out. Okay. Now here, if I talk about the essay structure, so essay structure, of course, the first you will have the introduction. Okay, first you will have the introduction. Now introduction may, you know that the very first point we are going to rewrite the statement. You also know the reason. This is what I have explained you very well in the previous video, that rewriting will show that how productive and how creative you are when you are using your English language, when you are writing in your English language. So make sure that you are not copying exactly from the question. You are writing the question, or you are writing the prompt in your own words, right? Then give your opinion, right? I partially agree, I completely agree, I disagree. You can also say, well, I agree with this, like most of the people disagree, but I agree, and I'm going to explain this in the following paragraph. Again, your supporting reasons. Okay. Then here the very first paragraph will talk about the agreement, that why do I agree with this particular topic, right? Evidence to support, or you can say to write down reason number 1 to agree. Then you need to explain that. Now you can see that the EQ process, I told you that EQ first is your evidence, then your explanation, and then your example. Always remember this by EQ. First put the evidence, whatever you want to say, well, I agree with that. What makes you agree? Write down that. The evidence, explain that agreement, or explain that particular reason, and then go with your example. Same as with your body paragraph too, but here, instead of writing the agreement, I will give my first reason to disagree. That why do I disagree, right? Or what are the point why people disagree, or maybe, why do I disagree, or why other disagrees with that. Explain the idea and give example. Last but not the least is your conclusion, where you are briefly going to mention both the points, right, in your in your conclusion, and yes, you are going to give overall your opinion, that what do you finally believe, or what do you want to say at last. Okay, now planning is important, very, very important. In the previous video, if you have gone through that, I have told you that planning will definitely help you out, and this is one of the very important part when you are starting writing your essay. So make sure before writing your essay, make a skeleton in your mind. Okay, this is my topic. Okay, fine. This is the, this is my point of view, and these are the 2 reasons that I'm going to explain. So make that skeleton in your mind before writing the essay. So let's see here the planning, right? The very first thing, as I've told you, create a skeleton in your mind, right? Just see that, okay, these are the points I'm going to write down, and these are the examples I'm going to write down. You will, you are allowed to make that particular framework. You can do this framework on your question paper, or maybe on a sheet at the time of your examination, right? So you can do that. Now, planning will definitely save your time, right? I have explained you that also. कि लेट्स सपोज इफ यू आर राइटिंग योर एसे, आपने अपना ऐसे, आपने क्वेश्चन पढ़ा, आपको क्वेश्चन बहुत अच्छे से समझ में आ गया, अब आपने स्ट्रेट अवे राइटिंग करना शुरू कर दिया विदाउट मेकिंग अ स्केलेटन इन योर माइंड. व्हाट हैपन, आप अपना पूरा फोकस डालोगे इंट्रोडक्शन में, आपका इंट्रोडक्शन बहुत अच्छा होगा, आप बॉडी पैराग्राफ लिखोगे, आप एविडेंस को लिखोगे, आप एग्जाम्पल्स लिखोगे, जब एक्सप्लेनेशन दोगे हो सकता है आप डाइवर्ट हो जाओ टॉपिक से, right? And this is completely not allowed, right? You are not supposed to write down anything which is not related to the topic. Examiner सब कुछ पढ़ता है, ये हमारे बोर्ड्स एग्जाम वाले पेपर्स नहीं है कि जहाँ पर आप स्टोरीज भी लिख सकते हो तो चलेगा, राइट? सो डू नॉट माइंड इट, बट यस ऐसा होता है कभी कभी, बट यहाँ पर आपको हर एक वर्ड रिलेटेड लिखना है, हर एक वर्ड रेलिवेंटली लिखना है. मेक श्योर जो भी आप लिख रहे हो इट इज कंप्लीटली रिलेटेड टू द एसे. Okay, so here planning will save your time. Okay, understand the topic, in that understand your opinion and why you have that particular opinion, what makes you agree or disagree with that, plan all the stuff. You will have more relevant ideas, right? जब आप plan करोगे, अच्छा ये मेरा topic है और इसलिए मैं इस topic से agree करता हूँ. Now क्यों agree करता हूँ? I'm writing that. So of course you will have a very relevant ideas, right? You will not write down something which is not related. यू विल हैव अ बेटर स्ट्रक्चर. आपको पता चल जाएगा, ओके, 2 रीजन है, अब इन दोनों को मैं आगे वाले पॉइंट में डिस्क्राइब करने वाला हूँ, या आगे वाले पैराग्राफ में डिस्क्राइब करने वाला हूँ. Then you will have less grammatical errors. On the spot सोचोगे, you will write down everything on the spot, you will do some grammatical errors. But when you're already done, you have the planning, you have that skeleton, you have that framework with you, you're good to go to write your essay with less grammatical errors. Okay. Now you will have good vocabulary. Even the planning includes good vocabulary. Let's suppose I am going to write down something related to the, traffic jam, right? So traffic jam, standing in a queue, peak hours, so many words, related words I can, collect in my mind, and I can see, okay, I can use these many words to give variety. So make sure जो भी आपका topic होता है उससे related आप कुछ words भी लिख सकते हो, that sometimes it happen that you are already aware of some good words, but when you are writing you are in that stress कि आप वो use करना ही भूल जाते हो. So make sure you can write down some of the grammatical, some of the vocabulary that you know related to the topic when you are planning your essay. Now here, let's take the example of this question. It says big salary, okay, let me just highlight, big salary is more important than job satisfaction. To what extent do you agree or disagree with that? So first, the first step of your planning is to analyze and understand the question. They are saying big salary is more important than job satisfaction. So when I say more, तो मोर वर्ड ही कंपैरिजन ले आता है, ठीक है, कि दोनों इंपॉर्टेंट है, राइट, दोनों इंपॉर्टेंट है, सैलरी भी इंपॉर्टेंट है, सेटिस्फेक्शन भी इंपॉर्टेंट है, लेकिन ये क्वेश्चन क्या कह रहा है कि सैलरी ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है सेटिस्फेक्शन से. सो बिग सैलरी इज मोर important than job satisfaction. Do you agree or disagree with that? So according to our opinion, we can make, right, I agree also and somewhere I disagree also. I agree कि job, I agree कि big salary is more important, कि आज के ज़माने में like good salary होना, handsome amount होना is very very important. लेकिन मैं ये भी नहीं कहूँगी that job satisfaction is not important. I believe ये भी important है, लेकिन somewhere they both are having their value. So I won't deny that job satisfaction is not important. So I am going to write down the balance essay here, not one-sided. I'm going to write down both the points here. तो इंट्रोडक्शन में क्या करते हैं, राइट, इंट्रोडक्शन के लिए मैं आपको एक टेम्पलेट देती हूँ, राइट, यू कैन स्टार्ट विद इन टुडेज सोसाइटी, राइट, देन आप क्या करोगे, पैराफ्रेज करोगे क्वेश्चन को, यानी कि ये जो आपका क्वेश्चन है, ये जो आपका प्रॉम्प्ट है, इसको आप क्या करोगे, अपने वर्ड्स में लिखोगे, पैराफ्रेज करोगे, ठीक है. इन टुडेज सोसाइटी, पैराफ्रेज द क्वेश्चन, सम पीपल बिलीव दैट, नाउ state the question what they believe, like some people believe, some people believe, or you can say state that statement you are agree or disagree with. Let's suppose some people believe that okay, having a big salary is more important than this, while other disagree with that. कुछ कहते हैं कि सैलरी ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है जॉब सेटिस्फेक्शन से, बट अदर डिसएग्री विद दैट. हमने दो बोला कि कुछ कहते हैं सैलरी इंपॉर्टेंट है, कुछ बोलते हैं जॉब सेटिस्फेक्शन इंपॉर्टेंट है, राइट. In this essay, I will explain why I agree. Let's suppose if you agree or disagree, whatever, I agree or disagree with this statement and provide examples to support my position. So I will also talk about why some people agree or disagree. I will also talk about what do I believe with that topic, right, with this topic. So here you can see the introduction after using this particular template. In today's society, hefty salary is always more prominent than the job satisfaction. Some people believe that better salary is more important than happy job. Some people believe that salary is more important than a happy job, while other disagree. कुछ लोग इससे disagree करते हैं. In this essay, I will explain why I agree with the statement big salary is more crucial than job satisfaction and provide example to support my position, right? Now see the body paragraph 1. So here body paragraph 1 will talk about my first evidence to support, then my idea and explanation. So here you can see. Now here I'll start my essay, the body paragraph 1, by using this transitional device. See, if you remember guys, if you have seen my previous lecture, I told you when you are writing, the ideas in sequence. Let's suppose the previous essay was all about the disagreement only, and whatever the reason I have given there or the ideas that I have developed there was about disagreement. So I have used the sequence language like firstly, secondly, thirdly, finally, right? I can use that. But here, I am going to shift, right? For example, I am going to talk about this side also and that side also. So accordingly, I will use my language. So instead of saying firstly, secondly, I will say on the other hand. कि अगर हम एक तरफ की बात करें, I will say on the one hand, on the other hand. So first is on the other hand. I will use this as a transitional word. Then I will write down the topic statement and I will explain that why it is happening with the example. So you can see the particular paragraph here. The very first thing I have done is to return the evidence. On the one hand, financial stability is a foundational aspect of life that enables individuals to meet their basic needs, support their families, and plan for the future. So this is my very first reason that why do I agree that yes, salary is ज़्यादा important होती है job satisfaction से. Now I will explain this. This is because when individuals are financially stable, they experience a sense of security and peace of mind. For instance, so after explaining this, I am giving an example. For instance, an individual earning a substantial income such as over a lakh in India can afford the necessity of life without worry. This financial security creates a strong foundation of mental well-being, enabling individuals to channel their energy towards professional growth, right? So somewhere if you have that, positive energy, okay, you are earning good. So somewhere you feel motivated, somewhere you feel positive, okay? So here, therefore, a big salary plays a important role in promoting the overall well-being of individuals by providing the necessary financial stability for them to thrive in their careers. So here, what I did, I only explained that why it is important, like why do I agree that yes, education, I mean, why do I agree that that salary is more important than your job satisfaction. Now, as I've said, on the one hand, now I'm talking about the other side of the essay. So here I will give my second reason where I'm going to write down the second, opinion of mine. On the other hand, so it was, the first was on the one hand, abhi on the other hand. So this is what I will use, right? I will again write down the topic sentence. I will give example with the ideas. So here you can see that on the other hand, proponents of job satisfaction argue that it holds greater importance than a high salary due to its impact on the individual's overall well-being. दिस इज बिकॉज वट दे आर सेइंग कि सेटिस्फैक्शन ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट करता है, कि दूसरी तरफ लोग ये कहते हैं कि सेटिस्फैक्शन ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है फॉर ओवरऑल वेल बीइंग. दिस इज बिकॉज एक्सप्लेनिंग हियर, दिस इज बिकॉज सिंस इंडिविजुअल स्पेंड अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम और सिग्निफिकेंट अमाउंट ऑफ their time at their work, if they are not satisfied or engaged with their jobs, it can negatively affect their motivation and productivity. तो कहीं ना कहीं आपको अगर सैलरी पॉजिटिव एनवायरनमेंट देती है या पॉजिटिविटी देती है जस्ट टू गो अहेड इन योर ग्रोथ, सेम एज जॉब सेटिस्फैक्शन ऑल्सो प्लेज अ रोल वेयर यू फील मोटिवेटेड एट योर वर्क प्लेस एंड यू फील लाइक टू वर्क more and more and more, right? So this is what they are saying here. Now putting an example here, for example, numerous instances can be found where employees in IT companies were laid off due to poor performance. Upon closer examination, it was revealed that these employees lacked job satisfaction, leading to lack of interest and decreased productivity, right? However, while acknowledging the significance of job satisfaction, it is essential to recognize practically and long-term benefits of prioritizing a big salary over a job satisfaction. So guys, can you see that how the very first body paragraph I was talking about the importance of a big salary. Now here in this paragraph I'm also talking about, on the other hand, I'm talking about that how job satisfaction is important, what kind of role the job satisfaction is playing here, right? How important it is to feel satisfied at your work, right? So both the points I have written here. So let's suppose अगर ये one sided होता तो मैं क्या करती, दोनों ही लिखती कि नहीं big salary important है, reason number 1, reason number 2. But here I'm saying salary important लेकिन job satisfaction भी. So my first body paragraph in favor of salary, second body paragraph in favor of job satisfaction. Now just to conclude, briefly mention both the points and give overall opinion. So here you can see in the conclusion I need to acknowledge the counterpoint. Counterpoint क्या होता है? Job satisfaction. उसे acknowledge करना है कि कहीं ना कहीं job satisfaction important है, लेकिन ज़्यादा important तो salary ही होती है, right? So you can see that in conclusion, while it is true that job satisfaction leads to increased प्रोडक्टिविटी, राइट? अगर आपको जॉब सेटिस्फैक्शन है तो आप कहीं ना कहीं आपकी प्रोडक्टिविटी बढ़ेगी एंड बेटर जॉब प्रोस्पेक्ट्स, द बेनिफिट्स ऑफ बिग सैलरी फार आउटवेट, राइट? सो as you know that we need to see, do you agree, to what extent? So मैं agree करती हूँ job satisfaction is important, but what I believe is big salary far outweighs the thought of better salary. Therefore I strongly agree with the statement that big salary is much more important or imperative than a satisfied work, right? So this is how your entire essay will look like, where you will write down the statement with the viewpoint, right? Then you will start with the 1 point on the one hand by saying, talking about the job satisfaction, then talking about the, here you will talk about the salary point, here you will talk about the job satisfaction, and then you are concluding. How simple is that? You can see that just 4 paragraphs, you know what you have written. And once if somebody will read your introduction, he'll be clear, right? So make sure your introduction should be very effective, should be very clear, right? Your introduction पढ़ने के बाद ऐसा लगना चाहिए कि आपको पूरा ऐसे पता है. Now just to understand the examples and an idea, we are reading further, because most of the thing हम अपने introduction में ही कर देते हैं, right? Because we are writing this statement, we are giving our opinion, and we are also telling that why do have this opinion, right? So make sure कि आपका introduction effective हो, or with all the points that I have told you, which I have told you, should be there. So let me tell you now one thing. In the previous session, in the previous video lecture, I did not give you the homework. Why? Because there was a reason. Today, I am going to give you the homework, right? And you will see that there is one sample answer, and you will also see the question that you are supposed to do. Now, you have a choice. After reading that particular question, you have a choice. Either you can write down the one-sided essay, or you can write out the essay where you have to show your partial agreement or disagreement, right? So the choice is yours now, and I'll be waiting for your responses. Do write down anything that you want me to repeat or anything that you want me to come up with in the comment box below. Thank you so much. See you again in the next lecture. ये कितने